In today's episode of Men Lie All the Time Through Omission, we have financial abuse. Now, when we think of financial abuse, we tend to think of men who have all this money and then, hold that over you and whatever. I always thought financial abuse was men have a lot of money, right? Silly me. And then I experienced on a personal level financial abuse through me not really having, I was waiting tables at a pizza place in New Mexico, living in a trailer with no running water. And somehow I met a man worse off than that, who then financially abused me because he was literally a hobo. And so Hobosexual, thanks to social media, came into my vocabulary, and now I understand that, you could actually be dating a man with no money and he will financially abuse you. But today's episode of financial abuse and men lie all the time, and I don't even know all the themes, right? Is men who this is one of the most ridiculous forms of financial abuse, but I think we need to see it as financial abuse. Now, I remember talking about this last year in a 1-minute video, and I didn't even realize then as much as I know now. So I want to extend it a little bit because I just didn't understand even a year ago, less than a year ago, how much men lie. Every day I'm like, wow, they really just lie and lie and lie and lie without saying anything. They lie all the time. I'm just not going to tell you about this girlfriend I have. Not lying. I'm just not going to tell you about this fatal condition I have until I marry you, and then you have to take care of me. I'm not lying. I just, oopsies, forgot to tell you. And in this case, this man just, through omission, just happened to not tell his partner that he is unbelievably rich. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is the New York Times. This man wrote into the ethicist. And I also want to say that they never say the gender of their spouse. So this could be a gay couple. I'm not sure. But, and I don't really know how this would play out if this was not a woman, I guess it's that woman that he was married to. I don't know enough about that experience to say on this, but I will say that what I know from women who marry men is that men are obsessed with power and control and lie to us all the time. So for the sake of this could happen to any woman I know, I'm just going to assume it's a woman, but could be wrong. I'm a 44-year-old man and have been married to my spouse for 10 years. We've been together for 15. Oh, okay. 5 years before you got married. Okay, whatever. Some people would say that maybe this was a shut-up ring. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to get married. I don't know. Whatever. Unbeknownst to my spouse, I have a trust fund. Woo! Trust fund. Only rich people have trust fund. A trust fund that provides me with a monthly income of $25,000. Now, granted, I assume that this is New York City. Maybe not. But in New York City, that is not as much money as probably most places in the world. But I don't know. I've never been, I can't imagine ever making this much money. That's what I made a year when I lived in New York. Less than that, actually. So this is a number I can't fathom. But in New York, this may not go as far. Just keep that in mind. This is, I think, New York City. When we first met, I said that I worked as a consultant. I said that I worked. Okay, so did you lie? What? I'm confused by the way they even state that. I said that I was. So you weren't. What were you? Can you please just say you lied? The way this person is already just being minimizing things. And they have never questioned this. The fact they're saying they makes me wonder if this is a man or a woman. But again, I'm just going to assume it's a woman. And again, this has happened. I can't tell you how many people I know who have been lied to about major financial stuff like this, and it ruined these women's lives. So again, this is the kind of stuff that happens between straight couples all the time. I don't know how much it happens in other couples that are not straight. Cishet. They have never questioned this. Start questioning these men. Start questioning everything. My spouse, a dedicated doctor, works long hours and doesn't like to discuss work when not on the job. I'm sorry, this keeps flipping. I don't understand this green screen function. I can relate to not wanting to discuss work on the job. If they're a doctor, they probably work insane hours. They want some distance from work. Especially when you work in any profession where you're taking care of people. You probably already have a hard time like having boundaries around work. So yeah, I would want to, but what does that have to do with you lying? Huh? That's got nothing to do with you lying. They don't want to talk about their job outside of work. And they probably don't want to hear about your boring consulting job that you lied about. God, I hate this person already. Over the years, I've repeatedly assured my spouse that they don't need to work. See, this is why I think it's a woman. This is a huge red flag. So many women are like, I just want, and honestly want a spouse who, they like a lot of women don't want to work, right? And that's one of the reasons why this whole stay-at-home mom crap is, I'm sorry, not stay-at-home mom, trad wife crap. Nothing wrong with staying at home. Nothing, as long as women who do that have some sort of financial security net under them so that if this man decides one day, you know what, I don't think she's attractive anymore, I'm just going to leave her and take everything, and then she's forked, right? So again, I know a lot of women who don't want to work outside the home. They want to take care of the kids. They should be able to do that. My problem with it is when men sabotage women's all of their financial security because they say, oh, you don't have to work. Get it in writing. How much money they're going to deposit in your separate checking savings account that they can't touch. Seriously, I've talked about this in another video. But yeah, any man is like, no, you don't need to work. You don't need to work. Won't even tell why. Won't even say it's because I'm rich. I have a trust fund. Why would this person not work? Especially as a doctor. How many years in school do they spend? Like that is, I cannot imagine how being in school that long. Right? And then you have to go and do like the practice, whatever it's called. I feel like it's not called an internship. Maybe it is. Like all that time for them to get married and be like, you don't have to work anymore. Oh, because that wouldn't ruin their career. And why would they assume that a consulting job that you lied about, that they don't even know you lied about, is enough money? Like, and again, a lot of women like myself, I love working because I don't like working jobs that exploit me. But I love having, like, my creativity is like a huge sense of my purpose. It is something I really enjoy. I can't imagine, even if I made a ton of money doing it, some man being like, you don't have to do that. But I want to. Like, shut up. But again, I'm not saying that, like, a lot of women don't want to work. And then they blame feminism for having to work. And it's like, that's a capitalism problem. That's not a feminism problem. But look at this. Oh, they are, however, passionate about their career. Silly little girl likes doing these stupid things outside the home. I can't believe she actually cares about something. I can't relate to that. Because, as a man, can't imagine a woman having a purpose outside of him or the home or their children. Hobbies, you don't get those unless they're at home. Passionate about their career. Yeah, I would hope so if you spent all that time and money to get into it. And have chosen to continue working. And also, even if they weren't passionate, it would not be wise for a lot of women to not work. Because that man, unless they have in writing and literally he is depositing money in her account, she can't leave you. She can't leave you. Of course she's going to keep working. I have so many friends who continue part-time work outside the house and have literally said, in case we get divorced one day, I need to stay in the working field. Because women and I don't know if this is like this in other countries, but in the US, if you have a large time outside the workforce, it is so hard to re-enter. That's why so many women get screwed. They stay home, take care of kids during the young ages because childcare is ridiculously expensive. Unlike other countries, like it's cheaper for a woman to give up her whole career than to pay for childcare. So I get why people do this. But men will not also give those women money to stay home. And these women can't leave. No matter what he does, they cannot leave, right? But look at this. Passionate, I continue working. I actively serve on various boards. Oh my God, you're so rich. Only rich people do this. You don't work. You just like do, liar. Oh my God. Okay. I have never held a full-time job and don't plan to. Never, ever, 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 ever gonna do it. Okay, so he did lie. He did lie. He's not consulting anybody other than his mama. I love the fact that he's like, no, I'm not working. Like, good for you, bro. But the fact that, like, what? This reminds me of the Risa Tisa story. Like, are you pretending to have consulting calls all the time? Like, are you that big of a liar? Where every time your partner comes home and you're like, oh, here she comes. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Like, what? How do you keep up a lie for 15 years? You've never had a job. Our lifestyle is comfortable upper middle class. Really, bro? Like, again, I could be wrong. I know this is New York. I know that the numbers in New York are very different than anywhere else. But, like, she's a doctor. I don't know what doctors make. But for literally doing absolutely nothing, you have a $25,000 a month trust fund. Now, there's probably more income than that. Probably does some stocks here and there. You know, probably has all kinds of money coming in. This is just the baseline 25 grand. And a comfortable upper middle class. I swear to God. Middle, like, what is your definition of upper middle class? This sounds rich. Rich is not billionaire. Rich is like million, like many million. Oh God, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not an economist. Somebody clear this up for me if you're in New York. Is this upper middle class? Because trust fund babies are usually not upper middle class. Y'all remember that ex from high school? The one who served 10 years in prison and then just got sent back because he got out and just started continuing to do the Ponzi scheme, Bernie Madoff or whatever that guy's name is. He had a trust fund. He had a trust fund from his granddaddy. Millions. Dude never had to work. And then all he did was steal, and now he's in prison. And then he was on white collar crime. He can't be in prison without being the best prisoner ever on TV. God, he's a sociopath. I don't know. I mean, if you're upper middle, I'm content with it. I hope so. I hope you're content with doing nothing while you watch your wife work. I'm pretty sure she's working crazy hours as a doctor. My question is, do you have kids? Do you have kids? I want to know. I'm dying to know. Did I miss that? Is there a mention of kids in here? Because if this man is lying about working and they have kids and his wife is working as a doctor, I would be so mad. Oh God. My dilemma is whether I should reveal the truth about my trust fund to my spouse. Bro, you missed the train on that one. You should have revealed that a long time ago. My family members have always advised against disclosing our financial situation. But the weight of this secret is becoming difficult to bear. The cross I bear is so heavy. The cross I bear of being a sociopathic, gold-digging liar. God! And when I say gold-digging, see, now, in this situation, it's someone, why are you calling him a gold digger? Exploiting her labor. Exploiting her labor. If she knew you were this rich, I bet you she would have not be, oh my God. Men steal our time. They steal our labor. They steal everything from us. If they had kids, gave up her body, right? All this stuff. Honey, you are married to a sociopath. Name withheld is a sociopath. So let's see what the ethicist, now the ethicist is a man. So I usually don't agree with everything the ethicist says because the ethicist can't see outside of themselves as a man usually. Any movers, blah, 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 I don't care. This is like, shut up. Why did you waste all that word count for that? You must be aware the normal understanding of marital intimacy includes transparency concerning basic facts of your economic life. You won't be surprised then to hear me say that your spouse is entitled to know that you have a large private income, no job, and no inclination to get one. Yeah, in other words, your spouse is entitled to know that you lied about your entire life because marriage is a business contract. That's it. You don't have to get married to have love, commitment, build a life together, have children together, have a home together. If you want all those things together, you don't have to be married to do that. Marriage is literally a business contract, and you lied about the one thing it's about. You're a liar. Why did you get married? I'm guessing maybe after 5 years, she was probably like, TikTok, buddy. This sounds like a shut up ring. Maybe a first date wasn't the right moment to bring up your trust fund. Still, by the time things got serious with your person, you should certainly have fessed up. As I've remarked before, secrets tend to grow more burdensome the longer they've been kept. Facts that one could have casually revealed on day 5 in a relationship that becomes shattering on day 500, let alone day 5,000. So you shouldn't wait any longer. It will only be worse if your spouse stumbles upon this situation later, and she will. There's no way she will never find out about this. And here's the other thing. Your whole family lied to her. I cannot imagine waking up one day and finding out this information and finding out that all my in-laws were in on this lie. And they encouraged this lie. I hope she read this and was like, this sounds like my husband. And then she divorced your ass. But don't expect an easy ride. Your spouse will have reasons to wonder what else you've been hiding. Exactly. And why you didn't feel you could trust them with the truth. And then you'll both have to reflect on your deception was eased by your spouse's apparent lack of interest in how you spend your day. What? Okay, here's the thing. You know, a lot of us, and I am one of these people, I just take things at face value. I give benefits of the doubt. When a man would tell me something, I'm like, okay. It never occurred to me that a man would lie about everything. Like the things that my ex lied about, I'm like, through omission, outright to my face many times. But it never occurred to ask me, hey, are you going on Craigslist and posting ads for schmegs? If I had asked him that, he probably would have said no. But it never occurred to me to ask him that very specific question about this enormous lie. Are you literally paying for schmegs on Craigslist and maybe bringing home an STI? Never asked him that. So while she's a doctor, why would she think this man lied about having a job? She's busy, right? Like I know that, her not asking more questions, maybe there was this evidence everywhere. But one of the things I love about Grace and Frankie, if you haven't watched that show, it's one of my favorite shows of all time, is like, there were so many things that they just were like, yeah, I guess it, like they joke about it. They're like, wow, it was right in front of me. I never saw it. Because just that one thing, why would someone lie about having an affair for 20 years, right? Yes, when we, in hindsight, a lot of us go back and be like, oh my God, that and that and that. How could I have been so dumb? But it a lot of times, so again, we actively ignore, and just like Risa Tisa learned, something didn't feel right. She didn't ask more questions. But it just, so many women don't realize how out of their way they will go to deceive when they could just tell the truth. No, they will create a whole thing, like he probably had an office set up with all kinds of stuff that he never, you know what I mean? Men they love deceiving us. It's a game. It's a game. And they love getting away with stuff the same way literally a child loves getting away with stuff with mommy. I swear to God, so many of these men do this to us. They literally turn us into their moms by hiding things and getting away with things. And then we're like, why would you lie about that? And then we have trust issues. And then they're pissed if you ever question them. When it's like, why did you lie about this one thing? What else are you lying about? Seriously. Like they'll lie about dumb things. They'll lie about huge things. And we don't know what's a lie and what's not. But this is a sociopath. This is okay, they're not a sociopath. I know I'm diagnosing it. I don't think this is actually that abnormal. I really want women, before you get married, or even when you're dating, if you're sharing money with someone, you need to see everything. Because so many men are hiding. Like I said, I know someone who found out after they were together for a long time, then they got married. As soon as they got married, found out about almost $1 million in IRS back taxes. They can't afford that. Now she's stuck with that. So many women I know who had husbands, tons of debt. Okay, y'all, I'm getting so worked up. I need to calm down. I am so mad at how much men lie in relationships. Even good men lie. And here's the thing. One of my best friends is a marriage and family counselor. So one of my friends is a marriage and family counselor. And she was like, I swear to God, so many of the divorces come down to men's shame. Men who will not deal with their shame, face their shame, will end up getting divorced, right? Because so many of the problems that she sees are men who are like, oh, like, okay, if you're not good with money, instead of actually dealing with it, talking about your wife about it. Like, I'm not even talking about this story anymore. She said, one person, the husband wasn't good with money, but didn't pay attention, didn't talk to her about it. And he had apparently a credit card that he wasn't paying off, that he didn't notice. Or he just stopped paying the credit card payments and then just didn't tell her about it. And then guess what? Credit card company came and they owed so much money. And she was pissed because now her money has to go pay off this debt she didn't know about. And if she'd known that there was this credit card debt, she would. So basically after this, she took all control of the finances because this man can't be trusted, right? Like, not everyone's good with finances. That's fine. And he realized he had to face his shame and be like, you know what? I'm not good at this. I'm good at all these other things. She is very good at this. I'm just going to hand this over to her. And since then, it's been working out. She's in charge of the budget and she's so good at it. They bought a house. They have all this stuff because she took it over. But his refusal to look at how bad he was with money is what would have eventually led to her leaving him. Because again, marriage is about money. If marriage is about all these other things, but at the end of the day, it has always been a business contract. That's why it was created. You don't have to be married. You can be life partners. In France, you can get paxed, which means you get a tax break, and you have a lot of the protections of marriage, but you're not married. To get divorced is very hard. And so I have so many people, they don't get married, they just get paxed so they can get the tax benefits and all of the things that you need, So men's shame and lying about things because they don't want to deal with it. And then they're like, I don't understand why she doesn't trust me. Grow up. Because so many women have been lied to from so many men, and so many women have so much trauma around male deception in their life that either threaten their life, threaten their finances, threaten their sense of security, all of those things, that one lie about something really dumb sends a woman into a place of paranoia where she's like, well, does he also have a girlfriend that I don't know about? He's been lying about his job every day. Like, this dude, if I was married to this man and I found out that he has not been working for 15 years and lying about it and also withheld this massive income, right? Watching me work so hard, maybe she would have worked a little less if she wasn't afraid that your stupid consulting company that you are so vague about, and most women know that men are way too confident. They're overconfident. So he may have been like, don't worry, it's taken care of. You don't have to work. She's like, yeah, right. Okay. Right. And just kept doing her thing. Right. Because again, a lot of women work not only because a lot of us love to work if we like our job. Right. A lot of us want to get out of the house and want to have friends and other interactions and be useful and helpful. And also just enjoy the fruits of our labor. It's not in the home attached to this one dude. But if she knew that she had $25,000 a month, just that, I'm telling you, I know this man probably has more money because if he has there's no way he's not investing that money. He probably has so much passive income in addition to that 25 grand that he's comfortable upper middle class. This dude's just a liar. Bro, you're a liar. Can you go to Compulsive Liars Anonymous if that exists? Because you have a lying problem. And if I was married to a man who lied about something that big, right? Again, Risa Teesa's guy, literally having imaginary, and I think he actually ended up being schizophrenic, the last update I heard from someone else. But it's not just men like that who do that. Men without that will literally just have a whole separate life, fake everything. I would feel so betrayed that I would not ever be able to even, I don't know if I could even be in the same room with a man who completely was like Scooby-Doo. But this dude at the ethicist, like, look at what he's saying. It might help to take these issues to a couples counselor. In the movie version, the third act revealed that your spouse, shut up. Like, what? This is nonsense. Like, what? Why do you keep making these metaphors about being in a movie? This is like this is financial abuse. He's like, in real life, I would anticipate hurt and confusion. Way to minimize that, bro. It's more than hurt and confusion. One way we violate the tenets of a trusting relationship is by failing to extend trust in the first place. See, a man wrote this. This ethicist guy, he drives me crazy sometimes. Do you not understand men? That man didn't withhold that information because he didn't trust her. That man withheld that because it's a power move. So many men look at relationships as power dynamics, right? And to reveal to this person, this woman that he's in a business partnership with, all of the truth about his side of the business, that is not a trust issue on his part. That is a power and control issue. That is I have the upper hand by her not having this knowledge. That is I want what I want when I want it, and I'm just not going to tell. It's not about trust. It's about her trust being broken. But that man withheld that because he sounds abusive, financially abusive, even if he never lays a hand on her. That is a level of betrayal. And, I've just been introduced to the term betrayal trauma. That is a betrayal trauma. That is a big T trauma too. And that man deserves no forgiveness whatsoever. I hope she leaves him. And I hope she gets a big chunk of that freaking trust fund too. You're married to the villain. Get out, get out, get out. That is financial abuse. That is manipulation. That is so abusive. And to him, he writes in the New York Times, being like, I have this little secret, and it's just this cross that I bear. It's heavy. You got a much bigger problem, bro. You are a terrible person. This isn't one secret. This is, you are abusive. Because there's no telling what that woman has put her body through, her mind through, everything through, all the stuff that she has done because she didn't know you had that money. And that time, going back to the thing about time, endless time. Men steal our time. They steal our time. They steal our money. They steal our bodies. They steal our energy. They steal our empathy. They steal our care. They steal and steal and steal like parasites. And then at the end, he's like, should I tell her? It's like a little detail. Fork you!